In this episode, I wanted to do something a little different. Rather than highlight a piece of technology, I wanted to talk about how IT should be proactively improving communication with other departments within your organization. First, why would IT want to be proactive in communicating with other departments? This can be best described in the following worst-case example scenario, with added drama to highlight the pain points. Let's say it's Monday morning and Manager A pops by saying, "Our new employee just arrived and we need a machine. Can you also install X, Y, and Z apps? Oh yeah, they'll also need access to our dev environment, and can you also create their accounts?" Arg, you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't even have a spare machine. Where's this person going to sit? What applications do they need? What about email accounts and internal wiki access? Why do people always dump these drop everything requests on me? Don't they know that it takes time to order a machine, install the OS, install apps, and configure accounts? But you reply, what new employee? We just deployed our last spare box to fix a broken machine. We have a new machine on order, but it's not going to be here till the end of the week. What about email and wiki access? To this, Manager A replies, "Crap, no spare machines? Well, this person could probably use their personal laptop, just install the software on it till the new machine arrives." Yeah, of course they're going to need email and wiki access. Oh yeah, they're going to need a phone too. Meanwhile, Manager A is probably thinking, "Arg, IT is always dragging their feet. How does it take so long to order a machine anyway? Do they not have machines ready to go? Applications and accounts? Should IT not know what new employees need?" You respond, "Okay, where's this new employee sitting? I'll go and install the software and get their accounts created." As you think to yourself, personal machine? Is this person running antivirus and anti-malware software? Should I even be putting it on the corporate network? I had all these things planned for today. Now I have to drop everything? Obviously, this is a bad situation, but not out of the realm of possibility. There are multiple things that are bad about this scenario. For one, you have a burning fire, and you need to drop everything, and your morning, if not your day, is most likely spent talking with this new employee, creating accounts, making sure that their personal laptop has access to the wiki and internal source control system. Is the laptop safe? Who knows? Second, this is essentially a one-off machine. Is there going to be application and account consistency with this personal laptop to the other machines on the corporate network? Third, the IT department makes the impression on this new employee that we are disorganized, and Manager A probably thinks this is status quo. Moving forward, there might even be some back and forth with this new employee, Manager A, and the IT department as they run into issues with missing accounts and applications. Sure, this is an extreme example, but if the IT department does not connect and convey their expectations to others, this can happen. The frequency and intensity of this pain will be judged by the amount of hiring your company does. If you're in startup mode, new employees will likely appear out of thin air and often, so you need to get ahead of the curve. There was likely a long chain of events before Manager A popped by asking for a workstation and accounts. Let's reverse engineer how this situation likely came about. Manager A needs additional capacity in the department to meet a company deadline. So Manager A petitions upper management asking for an additional body to be assigned. Human Resources is now in the loop too and works with Manager A to create a job description. HR posts the job description and after a while starts holding interviews. They ultimately find someone that fits and they make them an offer of employment. Everyone comes to an agreement, gets hired, and finally shows up at your door asking for a new machine and accounts. In the previous example, IT was notified about the new employee in the last step, when the new hire started work. How do we fix this? This is not really a technology solution, and it probably seems obvious already. IT and HR need to sit down and come to an agreement about when notification of a new hire needs to happen. This is more of a policy and procedural issue. We, the IT department, need to create the policy that HR will notify us in advance, and the procedure will be to purchase a machine and follow a build and accounts checklist. So let's sit down with HR and map out the process, which we're looking at here, and we'll start to assign times in between the steps. Maybe there is a month waiting period while the resumes flow in. then an additional 2 weeks while the interview process happens, then 2 more weeks between the person getting hired and when they actually start work. IT should work with HR to add an additional step that HR will notify IT about the new employee, and then work with them to send information like the employee's name, start date, equipment required, do they need a desktop or a laptop, etc. We tend to be so busy and technology focused that we miss the seemingly obvious act of communicating our requirements to those giving us work. In the absence of communicating our requirements, that we need time to order a machine, install the operating system and applications along with accounts, assumptions will be made on your behalf. When I first started out in IT, this was never communicated to me, and it never struck me till later that even if you're the lone person in your department, you have the power to implement new policies, procedures, and technology solutions. Take the initiative. You do not need to seek the approval of others. Just take proactive steps to implement solutions and see what happens. Okay, so how do we improve the process? If I was going to distill this down to a couple points, I would recommend the following. First, you want to connect with human resources and communicate your need for notification early in the hiring cycle. Explain the situation and give the reason why you need notification. This will also put an end to this type of drop everything work. Second, I would recommend that policy and procedures are developed for new employees. These should probably be wiki pages. The policy should be that HR will notify IT with enough lead time that they have the machine ready when the new employee starts. The procedure should outline everything new employees need. There should be a checklist for how a machine is built. This will ensure consistency across your organization. I would recommend disk imaging software, something like Clonezilla. This procedure should also address things like special application requirements, accounts needed, what are the start and end dates, network ports needed, power requirements, phone, and company directories that need updating. I would go with a light-as-weight solution as possible, start simple, and modify as needed. I suggest creating a ticket for each new employee or batch of employees so that you can track the request and that there is visibility into where everything is. And if you need to pass the task around, it makes it much easier for someone to get up to speed. Armed with the proper notification and these policy and procedures, you have a much more planned and organized job. This also gives the impression that IT is organized and on top of it. Hopefully we can make this the new status quo. Before I end this episode, I just wanted to say this is an example, but this way of thinking can be applied to lots of different problems. Are there any downsides to this solution? Not really. Everyone is likely to benefit from this solution, since HR and Manager A get what they want ahead of time, and the IT department has the lead time to fulfill the request. It's a win-win. Alright, that concludes this episode. Thanks for watching. If you would like to get notified about future episodes, please subscribe to my mailing list. You can do this by going to the Get Notified link in the header and entering your email address. Have questions, comments, or concerns about this episode? What about episode ideas? I'd love to hear your feedback, either good or bad. Shoot me an email, justin@sysadmincasts.com.